So why does your physique still look the same even though you're training consistently? You've been training for months or even years and your physique still basically looks the same. And I understand the frustration. If you are like me, you are taking your work and business seriously and still making an effort to take care of your physique. You make sacrifices and spending a lot of time in the gym, working hard, but physique looks identical to 6 months ago. You've got same arms, same chest, same back, and then you see people online training way less than you and they seem to be progressing faster. And then you're left wondering, what am I doing wrong? And if you've been consistent all this time, then the problem is in something else. It's not really related to the consistency. Many people are obsessed with chasing the pump. They do 5 exercises, 4 to 5 sets. They barely rest between sets. They do way too much and they focus on the pump. You're chasing the feeling instead of chasing something that actually works. So the typical bodybuilding training that you see online looks like this. You do 4 to 5 sets per exercise. You do 4 to 5 exercises and you just chase a pump. You just do very good form, slow controlled, a lot of pump, and if it burns, it means it grows. That's the whole idea behind it. And then you also spend over 2 hours in the gym training 4 to 5 times a week, way too much. Chasing a pump, it just tells you to chase a feeling. Like you're not really gonna build too much muscles. Yes, as a beginner, you'll see some results. It will get you somewhere, but it's nothing too crazy because you don't focus on the main stuff. And then you might be doing crazy pump. You get a crazy pump. It feels great. It feels intense. You do a good session. Next time, you do same thing. You also feel intense. So the weights might stay the same. The sets and reps might stay the same. Everything stays the same, but you still feel the pump. So you didn't get anywhere, but you still feel the pump. You're not progressing. You're not really gonna gain any muscles. Week 1 to 4, the pump feels good. It feels like you're actually gaining muscles because you look in the mirror, you see yourself getting bigger. You're like, man, I wish I could look all the time the way I look pumped. That's what you say to yourself. Everything feels solid and you actually even get some results, maybe not in 1 to 4 weeks. It takes longer to see it. And then 5 to 12 weeks, what happens then? Okay, the pump feels good. In good lighting, you see some results, not results, but you see that you're looking good, you're looking big, but then at home you look the same. You're not really gaining weight, you're not really getting anywhere, even though it feels like you do because of the pump. It feels great, it's blood flow to the muscles, it feels good, but you're not getting the results that you wanted. And then at the time of 13 weeks or more, you seem to look the same. Like you're like, okay, why does this feel so good, but you're not getting anywhere? Interesting. And on top of that, the approach requires 5-6 times a week of training, minimum 1 hour in the gym, loads of exercises, a lot of things, and you might not even see progress. For a busy man, this is simply not sustainable. Like you're doing something and then you realize you're just wasting time. You want to do something that actually works while saving time and you get way more results. So something you do for less time and you still get way more results. You can even comment down below, how long have you been chasing the pump? Like I want to know your story. Tell me more about the story of your training. Who am I to talk about this subject? Well, my name is Jan Barsigel. I've achieved some not too bad strength, only 100 kilograms for 10 reps on weighted dips. Weighted pull-ups, only 77.5 kilograms for like only 7 reps. It's nothing too crazy, right? Normal results, crazy muscle ups. I've achieved a good body, as you can see. Nothing too crazy, just some good enough results in order for me to speak about this subject very confidently. I've helped countless businessmen achieve great results. For example, either Sebastian and Jorge. Most of them are in their 50s, 40s, and they've achieved some great results while being very busy in their life, focusing on their business and their jobs. They're people with families and kids to take care of and a wife to take care of. The Soviet athletes understood that strength comes first, even though your goal is muscle growth. And how does this work? So the principles that give you muscle growth are failure, you actually resting enough between your sessions, you doing good solid technique, everything is on point, but you need to be actually trying to get stronger. It doesn't mean you use a crazy method, which is a lot of weight, lower rep range. No, it doesn't mean that. You use the principles for muscle growth. You try to get better every session. You try to do at least one more rep in every set. You try to at least maybe add some weight when you hit a certain amount of reps. You need to try to get better every session. Because what does it mean when you try to get better every session? If your strength goes up, this is your muscle growth. This is your strength. Strength usually is a faster process than muscle growth. If strength goes up like this, muscle growth is slowly like this. Like muscle growth is 3 to 5 times slower process than strength. Strength, you see it happening every session. If you see the strength happening almost every session, it's going up every session, you're guaranteed that the muscles are getting bigger. You just need time, and you just need to maybe take some pictures of how you look. Otherwise, you're not going to notice yourself getting bigger because you see yourself every day in the mirror. So the stronger you get, the bigger you get. You just need to use some Soviet ways of training, or just some ways of training that are mostly muscle growth related. Once you use them and you take the strength seriously, you make sure the strength goes up, everything is on point, you will be getting bigger. Even the people who are very strong but they look small, you might say, bro, I know people who are very strong but they look small. Those same people looked even smaller when they were weaker. You got that right? The same people who you say are strong but they look small, they looked even smaller. So even they got bigger. They just don't look that big even now. There's a difference between pump chasers and people who train seriously, or they follow a Soviet way of training. Pump chasers, they're like, oh, I just had a good workout, the pump felt good, I felt healthy, I moved around, I did some exercise. It's true. You're moving around, you're doing some exercise, you're chasing pump. Amazing for health. But then on the other side, it's still amazing for health, but you've got more benefits, which is you getting better. You actually track your numbers. When the pump chasers, they don't really track their numbers. Maybe they care a bit about it, but the process of getting stronger is very slow because they don't care too much about it. And then you've got the real people who train the real way. They track every rep, every set, which takes 5-10 seconds. You just quickly write down how many sets and reps you did, and you try to get better every session. At least one rep more, at least one set more, or at least you add more weight. Here's what this does to your mentality. Whenever you see yourself getting better every session, you're feeling good that what you're doing works. You need to keep going. You know the system is working, the way you're training is working. You just need to keep going. And then if you stop progressing, you know what to do in order to keep progressing. You just need to take this more seriously. You need to keep going because the system works. It's just you're maybe getting too comfortable. So this gives you that confidence that you deserve. It's not cheap confidence that you just get, you feel confident, but you don't deserve the confidence because you're doing things wrong. No, you're doing things right, so that's why you get the confidence. You're now getting addicted to PRs, addicted to getting better, because this is what makes the workouts exciting. You're looking forward for the workout in order to do better than last time, at least in something. There's something you also need to take into account. There is a limit in everything. You can't be doing a lot of failure sets. No, you're not going to be able to manage it. If you go until failure, so this is failure, so this is failure. If you go until failure, the amount of sets are less. If you don't go until failure, the amount of sets are more. You can't bring both up, so you can't be doing more than 2-3 failure sets. Because most people who do say they do more than 2-3 failure sets, they don't really go until failure. And how do you know if you go until failure or not? If you can do the same amount of reps twice in a row, it means you didn't go until failure in the first set. If you would, you wouldn't be able to repeat the same amount of reps. We also take into the consideration how many rest days you take. You need to make sure you rest enough. And what's the main rule? You need to rest always 1 day more than needed, just in case. How does this even work? If you rest 4 days between a workout, let's say this is required, this is good, this is solid. If you rest 3 days between the same workout, you're risking an injury, maybe you'll not be recovered. Things might still go good, but you're risking things for no reason. If you go 5 days between that workout, you'll be fine, you'll progress, everything is good. If you give 6 days between that workout, you'll be fine, everything is good. You can give up to 9 to 10 days and you will still progress and you'll still get better. What does this teach you? It's always better to give one day rest more than needed than less than needed. You need to stick to a system that actually works. Do not rush to change the ways of training. Don't rush with this stuff. Stick to something that works and actually try to get better. Don't blame the program. Blame the mistakes you're making. Maybe you're not eating enough. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you don't have motivation at your training. Maybe you change gyms too often. Maybe you forgot your chalk at home, so now the grip is bad. Maybe you forgot to drink your water before training. Maybe you ate a different meal before training, so now you feel a bit different. There's many things that can get in the way. Of course, you don't need to be scared of progressing because you've done one of these things wrong. No, you still will progress if you do one of them wrong. We always do something wrong. If you do more things wrong at the same time, that's when you're not gonna see good progress. So all of these things interact with each other, which is too much intensity, too many sets will lead to overtraining. Not enough intensity, not enough sets, you'll not really see any progress. You exaggerating in the sets, you taking too much weight too fast, will lead to an injury. All these things are connected. This part right here is where people actually get stuck. They do understand that getting stronger equals more muscle growth, but they get the diet part wrong. They copy someone else's program online. They've heard some random advice, they implement it, but it doesn't go well with what they like to eat or how they feel about it. And then they lose motivation, they see no results, they think it's all about training. This is why coaching exists. Not just to tell you, bro, use this method, do this, and go. The chance of you actually sticking to it is pretty small. But when you've got somebody by your side who's asking you, bro, what's your goal? Okay, what's your history of training? What movements do you even like doing at the gym? What has been your diet all this time? Have you been able to stick to it? All these questions make me understand what's possible for you or not, because I want you to get started in a way that you will definitely be able to stick to. So I don't give you some crazy stuff, 2-3 hour workouts, crazy insane things that I know you will not follow them. We get started in a solid way, and only then once you manage that, we can get to the next level, more. And this is something we keep adjusting week by week once you keep progressing. Now some people might think, but bodybuilders chase the pump and they're huge. Yes, mostly because it's also their full-time job and they are okay with spending hours and hours at the gym. And also what helps is having 20 to 80 times more testosterone than a normal guy, a normal man. That's how much more testosterone they have than you. And because this is what they do full time, nothing really gets in the way. Things are simpler. They can spend all their day at the gym and they will be fine. And you're not them. You're a busy man with a busy life who wants to find a way to combine training into your schedule while progressing at the same time. Because more progress means you're happier and everybody around you is also happy because you're happy. So you need an approach and something that can help you in your exact situation. So let's get this straight. Pump is great, it will get you some results, but any form of training will get you some type of results. But that's not what we aim for. We want a real progress and something that actually works and something that you can see yourself getting better at every single session. Not chasing a pump and you hope you'll grow and you just wait hoping you'll grow. When you get stronger with the right system, you keep getting better and you see yourself getting better and you're guaranteed to grow at the same time. Progressive overload on the right movements is what builds real muscles. While of course doing good technique, good rep range, making sure you hit failure, making sure you rest enough between sessions, while eating right, making sure your calories are on point, you slowly gain some weight. All these things of course matter as well. Now here's where you are now. You understand that pump keeps you stuck. Proper progressive overload is what will get you good muscles and good results. You need progressive overload and not just random volume. But you still don't understand what exact exercises you need to do. What are more details about this? How does this work? Can I get more details about this? You still don't know all the details. This is exactly what I go through in details inside the Bar Siegel coaching. I look at the exact situation that you're in, your goals, your level right now, the system we're gonna apply depending on your current goals, what days a week you can even train, when exactly you can train. We also go through all the details. Will this affect your family in a good or bad way? All these things play a good role so that we make sure we don't waste time. We do what needs to be done, and you know how long it takes before you see progress? One session. Every single session you must be seeing progress if things are done right. And then you end up never guessing, you're never plateauing, and you're never wasting time. Just consistent progress towards the goals that you actually want. You're not getting just some general advice, you're getting some proper details that will make you a better man every single session and every single day. If you're serious about building muscles that matches the work that you're putting in, you can apply for one-to-one coaching. The link is in the description or somewhere here in the screen, but definitely in the description. I'll see you in the next video.